Hello and welcome back to Dwarf Fortress and the last and final episode of the series in this fortress. Now, why is this the final one? Well, I'm going to go through that, and this will be edited due to what I'm going to do and how much time it takes to actually do. Also, with some additions of a bit unlucky on how the world, like where the fortress is and where stuff is on the map and so on. But before we start getting into that, remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you feel so inclined. That would be super awesome and nice if you did. But with that, going back to what are we going to do in this final episode? Well, what we are going to do is, in this room we're seeing right now, with these weird holes, we are going to put magma in these holes so that we can, if we go into workshops and go in here, so we can put the magma forge, put the magma glass furnace, the magma kiln, and the magma smelter in place. Now, why do we want it up here? Because it's elevation 10. It's fairly close to where the rest of the fortress is. But where the magma is where the conundrum is. Like the issue at hand is where the magma actually is. That is, if we click on this, recenter on the deepest discovered area at this location. Now remember, it's elevation 10. We click this. Minus 124. That's not really where the magma is, but if we go up, the magma is on minus 119.20, something like that. So yeah, and we need to bring it all the way up to here. All the way up here. This is where it needs to go. So yes, it's going to require some work, and now you might understand why this is going to be edited. Now, what I will do is make the shaft going down. Now, before we actually do that, there was one thing that I want to do, which is dig channel. I think it was there. There is a reason why I do this. Let's unpause and let the dwarves come here and do that. That is why. I have checked this off camera, to be honest. I loaded up the save and did this kind of thing and discovered this, so I knew it was there. And then I quit out without saving. You have discovered an unusual volcanic wall studded with gems and various other things. So, that is below us. That is technically speaking open space. So if we go down, we have a magma sea. And yeah, it brings some complications into the picture, because like how I missed Like, whether... How I missed it completely is beyond me. Yeah, that's a skill even. But yeah, what I need to do is I need to make something that is... I need to have the... See, where the mine carts needs to be on this level over here somewhere so that they can get filled. And then... So I do need to redo this tub, basically, a bit. And I need to do it a bit carefully. Like that. Now, that open space is where the dwarves can actually fall down. So let's see if we can plug that hole up with some... with something. Let's use some chert because it's magma safe, just in case. So yeah, I'm removing the ramps here. That means there is no ramp here, and I'm not sure what I will do with this. I might just block it off. Anyway, what I need to do is I need to see where this wall is, so I know sort of where to build this tub. And let's see, that is where the wall is. And I do want it to be a bit further away. Now, you don't want to make these, like this tub, too small, but you don't want it to be too big either, because if it's too big, it's going to take too long to fill it. So I don't want to make it too large, but I don't want to make it too small either. Yeah, so let's see if we can... We do that. That's a space for... see, whatever. The minecart is one tile big, so I want space all around it. So all the 8 tiles around the middle one, I want to be free. So they can walk around the minecart properly. So I think that's one. And then that's 2. Having 2 minecarts will speed up the process, and then a little bit of space for the ramp. That's let's see, that is a 6x5 or a 5x6. Yeah. Okay, let's go up because we need to do it from this level. And let's... Yeah, that's far enough away. 3, 3, and 2. And what I can do then is I can do connections here or here, which I'm not 100% sure of how I'm going to do, but we'll see. And let's do... You do need to be a bit careful with how you do this. Because depending on how you go about doing this, you might have difficulty actually making the tunnel that's going to be for the minecart. But you will see how we're going to snake this. It's going to be a trip. I have off camera done it just to see how I would go about doing it, and it's going to be a trip, let's just say that. Now I think coming in from this side is what I want to do, so let's do that, just so I can actually dig everything out. And once we have done this, I will check to see what it is, how it looks below. And someone has been possessed. Petition? Deny. So there we go. So that's the basin. I wonder, is it too small? I might have to bring it one to the left. Maybe I should do it one to the right so it's a bit closer to the wall. Maybe I should. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do one like this. It will bring it slightly closer. There we go. That's a bit more space to play with as well. You actually will do that. Like that. That is better. That way we have enough space to actually put the mine carts down. So that's one there, that's one there, and there's 8 tiles around both of them. So there's enough space to move around without being too large. And we have dodged all the magma, so we're not at risk at flooding this just yet, which is good. Let's do that. Here we go. Just so we can actually, that is so we can actually open this up and do this. And then next step is pretty much good. I actually plugged that hole over there. That's good. So no one can fall down into the magma sea. That would be a rather unfortunate end to someone. And yeah, like, I was really unlucky with where the magma was. It was so deep down, which meant that it's going to take a bit of work to actually... Let's see, do I have a recenter on? No. So let's do a recenter so it's a bit easier to go up and down. Let's see, magma forge area, just so we know, and then we center that there, and then yeah, let's put that one. And magma C. There we go. So F6 and F7 brings me up and down. There we go. Goes a lot quicker if you do it like that. So, how do you go about actually doing this? Well, it's going to be a bit annoying because we are going to have to dodge the caverns and all of its cavities and everything. So we're going to have to snake our way through here and make sure that we sort of miss any of this open space. And we not only do we need to do it for the first cavern layer, we need to do it for the second one, which also has water, and do it for the third one. So we have a lot of things to avoid. And yes, we will see how we can do. Now, how do we actually go about doing this? If I remember correctly, it is not that one. It is dig a channel. What we need to do is basically make a way up and down. And to do that, what we need to do is we need to use the dig channel. So we have this corridor here where we want to bring the minecarts in from. So they come up here and goes in and left across. To show with this, it's up, starting from here and going up like that, and then across like that. So that's sort of how we want them to come into this area, but now we need to bring them up here. So starting from your starting locations, that's usually the easiest. It's not easy, but it's the easiest way of doing it. And you take your digger channel tool, and then you, in the end here, so where the wall is, we click, and then we move the mouse one tile over and scroll down. And then we click again, and again, and again, and again. And that's pretty much what we are going to have to do the whole way. And all of the cavities and all the rooms and everything, and the caverns and such, we are going to have to dodge by snaking. And I will come to that in a bit. I usually go just straight until I find that I can't anymore. I think we need to remove. And that's pretty much what you need to do. You need to do and do it like that, and then bring it across. And this is basically me making a turnaround. And then we need to start going down again. Now we have turned around. That's pretty much how you need to do it. And as you can see here, the dig here would be there. So what I need to do is actually go and delete everything up to here and make sure that I dig slightly further ahead and then redo. And now you might understand why this is going to be edited. Turn around, and you want to give yourself a bit of space when you do these. So I would say 3 like this, like 3 3 3 1 2 3, and then 1 2 3, and then from there 1 2 3 is, I think, the minimum, like the smallest turn you can do without it being weird. Let's see if we dodge that. Nope, we didn't. Not enough, at least. So basically what I need to do is I need to bring that straight out like that and try again. And this is the tedious part. Ooh, we dodged that. Just barely. That's all we need. Like, barely dodging something is still dodging something. And then we are practically there, but what we need to do here is we need to bring around the carts so that we arrive. I think over there might be a good spot to come out, or here. Okay, so we're almost there. We're almost there. Let's see if we can change this slightly. We want to arrive sort of here-ish. That's where we want to be. We want that to be there. Let's see how I'm doing this in reverse. Okay, so that comes in there. getting around like that. And then it's basically just straight in. That dig comes down there and then dig there. And then it splits like that. Then the track splits off into there and there. And yeah, so I think I have done this properly, but, and this is really important, which I found to be also very important when I tested this, is that have everything paused, and then basically once you have done all of this, you need to go through the whole journey and sort of check to see that you're not breaking in anywhere, like you're completely isolated. So this here, and then we will follow this journey, and that swoops around, and if you have a dig that is like this, the diagonal still counts. So that is something to keep in mind, that the diagonal still counts. So you want it to be fully enclosed, each and every tile, all the way down. And then we turn left there. And then turn up. Turn right. And then a massive loop around to come out here, which is, I think, because of the second camera layer, yes, which we dodge, good. And around. That's the third camera layer, which we dodge, good. And that's the last turnaround to bring it in to here. Perfect. Well, maybe not perfect, but good. So it shouldn't be any breaks anywhere along the journey. And this kind of like check is something you need to do, because if you have a break somewhere, you have to build walls, you have to make sure to close it off, which is mostly just safety reasons, especially if you go across like a cavern, or if you is in a place with an aquifer, or you have a underwater like underground sea level or something. You having this railway network fully closed and isolated is important, because it also brings like a highway road up into your base, which you may not want any weird creatures or things getting into. So, but I think we will unpause and let the dwarves get on with it. What? No. Oh. What? But I checked this. Okay. Yeah, I need to salvage this. My God, what? Let's is actually have these arrows. They do, like, these arrows actually do help a lot with showing you where stuff is. Let's do that so we can actually see properly. So that goes up, that goes down. So it's basically a slope down to from the left to the right. The same thing there. That slope would... yeah, because that's the level. So that... that's where we need to have a floor. And then do one across. Let's try again. Do that. And what I need to do is I need to block that off, and I need to make that. And there you come. And okay, so that has to be avoided, which it will be. So that... okay. Which, due to, sadly, where I have dug things, I need to bring that out like that. Dig down, dig down. And from, let's see, what I can do is that's the one I need to remove. So there, that brings me down to there. So I can do that. And I need to remember to remove all of these. And dig down. So I come out here. Actually, I should bring it out to there, because that means I can salvaged. Oh, yeah, that's why it's so important to check that you're not breaching anywhere. And we're done. So the next step is actually under the set wall smoothing, engraving, track carving, and fortification orders. We are going to carve tracks in the stone floor. Now, I don't think I can carve in the stone blocks, so I am going to have to do... I'm probably going to have to make some tracks, because I don't think you can carve tracks into a built stone floor. I think it's just like the stone like cavern floor that you can carve, which seemingly doesn't want to do anything. Let's go up and check one more time. Yeah, I might not be able to do that. So that would mean I need to make some tracks, like actually build. Is there a... I wonder if there is a command. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so basically I'm going to have to make them... I'm going to have to make those out of materials, which that's fine. I mean, that's absolutely fine. And you can connect them, so shared blocks. I think that should work. That should make those tracks there. Now, if I didn't mess this up, and let's assume that I did everything correctly, which I didn't, but let's assume I did. How you go about carving and making this, like, this track, the easiest way of doing this is actually to what I'm going to do first actually is I'm going to mess things up and not do it correctly. No. What you do is you click where you want to start, and then you drag your mouse, and it doesn't matter that you change the elevation. It will still make the path and carve the tracks, even on the slope and everything, and it won't destroy the slope. It will. So, and then that is going to be a stop. So as we can see, we have a work order from here, all the way down to there, across the slope and everything. And then what I want to do is bring it down there, and then you get this intersection there, and then you click there and down there. So this way we can have two of them on the same track. And from here, I found this is the easiest way of like setting up this area, like this station where the minecarts are technically speaking on two different tracks, and then they converge into the same track that leads up to where the magma is going to go. So do that first, and then we click from here, and then we just scroll all the way up. I might not be able to do this because I messed up my like a section, but just scroll all the way up to where your magma forge and magma smelters and stuff are going to be. And for me it's on elevation 10. We move over, and if I hadn't messed up my path, I could just move the mouse all the way up here and just click, and it would carve the whole path. Now I can't really do that, so what I need to do is I need to find where my mistake is and bring it up to there. So that, and then I have those connectors there, and then I click on the next, and now I should, because if we show here, we can see that it automatically sets the path to the shortest. So we just scroll all the way up. Let's see if we can jump, and we get out here, and then we just drag it across like that, and Boom, we're done. It's very easy. Had I not messed up and had to place a small amount of tracks manually and like build tracks, I could have really like just gone, clicked here, and then just all the way up and boom, in one click. But I messed up along the way, so we had to do it in steps. And yeah, now it's mostly just wait until everything is carved. The track is now done. It goes from all the way down here on elevation minus 119 up to elevation 10. Now, on elevation 10, we need to do a few things under construction and track stop. And this is very important. We also need to decide which way it's going to get dumped up here, because these holes should be filled with magma. We need to designate a direction where the auto dumping is going to take place, which is, in our case, up. The track stop. So you need to set up on each and every one of them, because it resets. You have to make sure to remember to set the dumping direction every time. But yeah, what's going to happen is the idea is it's going to go through and dump everything up into the hole one at a time. So comes through, dump, and once this hole is full or full enough, we can deconstruct this track stop, and then the next one is going to get dumped in until that's full enough, and then the next one and the next one, until all of them are full, which might take some time as well. And we also need to do the track stops down here. So we have all the points where the minecarts are going to get stopped needs to be there, need to be there. So these two where the minecart tracks, like the minecarts are going to get filled with magma, has to have a track stop as well. So, but this one doesn't need any of the auto dumping direction because we're not dumping anything. So just leave it on the X and just place it. And what's important here is that you're using something that is magma safe. Because this chamber is going to get filled with magma. So it's really important that we use materials that is magma safe. And chert blocks, like chert stone, is magma safe. So that's why I'm using the chert blocks. I'm using the blocks because they are more efficient, basically. The track stops, when it comes to this here, with the minecart, with the friction, doesn't matter. Just keep it at the one on the max, like the default one. And then if it's where it's going to get filled, you don't set any auto dumping, so just keep it at default on the X. And when we go up here and set the track stops, it's set to auto dump into the hole. Now, if the hole was below the track, we would have set it to, we would have said this one. If it was to the left of the track, we would have set the left. And if it was to the right, we would have set the right. But it's above the track, so we are using the up designation. Now, one thing that I need to do is, and this is important, I have said it somewhere, but we'll see if it makes the edit, is that mine carts Minecart needs to be made in a magma safe material, and iron is, as far as I know, magma safe. So if we set to forge 2 of them, I don't need more, and do it as a one-time order, that should get done. What I need to do other than that is I have to make a bridge. Which goes like that, and I have to make it in magma safe material. Done the chamber a bit bigger than necessary, but that's fine. Now the thing is, I need to be able to drain this, because basically what we're doing is we're taking magma from the open like the magma sea. So the magma over here gets put in this chamber that then basically floods into the minecart, that then we need to empty out the chamber and then push the minecarts back up. And one issue is I'm not sure how the magma over here is. Because basically I need to go to the end of the map so I can actually drain it properly. Let's see if we can do that. It's very important to have this bridge here and for it to be magma safe, because that bridge is going to designate if we let the magma flow or if we stop it. Can I do that? Then bring you out like that. They're making the track stops. Good. I made this sort of corridor over here because these drawbridges has to have where are you? There. It needs a lever so we can actually control if it's going to be up or down. Let's do the same thing there and there. That should allow the magma to possibly flow a bit better. And yeah, you don't need to do it this big. Technically, I made it a bit too big. I think that should be safe, because that's basically what's below. Yep. We checked that stone for heat. What devilry is this? Oh, there is water? Damp? What the? I might have to snake this a bit. Oh, right. Not sure what that was all about, but let's avoid all the warm areas as much as possible. The chert levers are now in place. Don't have any stone blocks. And let's set that to chert. And I will also make a rock grate in chert. And yeah, so the track stops are in place. That's good. Once we have this ready, we have to make sure we forbid basically every single piece of rock and like resource. So no dwarves feel the fancy of, oh yeah, let's go down and pick them up. When this is full of magma, that would be rather ungood. Let's actually redo this and set them up to be a bit more understandable so that we can actually So we can actually know, like, oh yeah, this this one is for this one and this one is for this one. So we know which lever is for which drawbridge down here. And another thing you really need to do is go into stocks and type mechanisms and go in, and anything that isn't magma safe has to be forbidden. Absolutely has to be forbidden. Check the wiki, check the stone use to see if it is magma safe or not, and then make sure to forbid anything that isn't magma safe, because yeah, all of the mechanisms and all of that has to be magma safe on the bridge and levers and stuff. So that is very, very important. So link to that church bridge, and then I will make sure to pull that lever once it's linked, and that is so we can actually open this up and let the magma flow. Not sure what you're doing here, but bye bye. I don't know where they're getting in. I really don't know where they are getting in. Anyway, that is now linked. So someone will come and pull the lever. There we go. And that is now up. So if we... And an important thing here is you cannot do a normal dig out into the magma, because that will kill your dwarves. So what you need to do is dig channel, go up a level, and dig right where it will open up. Then I will actually build a floor there. And as you can see, it has started to flow in here. So what I will do is I will construct a floor on top of this, because oh my god, is that a hazard if nothing else. There we go. And then make a chamber like that, just so it can flow down somewhere. Right. It will be a bit oddly shaped, but that's just what it's going to have to be at this point. And let's leave it like that. Don't care at this point. And then from here all the way out. And what we need to do as well is we need to make another ramp, and it needs to go like that. There we go. And that one I will just leave as is for now. Yeah, so we're making this, I thought. Yeah, but that's underneath. I understand why they do this, but it's underneath. It's fine. If I get flooded by magma at this point, I'm going to be livid. I'm so close to the edge. Please let me get to the edge without any hassle at this point, please. Nope. I think it has to do with where the magma is underneath that causes this, which is fine. Just a bit annoying, that's all. Yeah, so that is the edge of the map. I can't dig any further. Like, I can't set a dig order, but what I can do is set a smooth order. So I can set the order to smooth the wall, and then I can set to carve a gap in a smooth wall, the carving fortification. So carve a gap in the smooth wall to allow your archers to fire upon invaders. That is something you can do to make a hole in this edge of the map wall to force the magma to just disappear. And boom. So there we have a fortification. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and forbid everything in here. as well as in there and there. You don't want your dwarves to come here and collect things. That is just absolutely not what you want. And forbidding is probably the easiest way and quickest way to ensure that. We will install a wall grate there. Why, you ask? Just in case. Just an extra level of protection, just in case. So once that gets built, there we go. We can go up and link that one. Let's set this on a highest priority so it gets done quickly. So what we need to do now is we need to go into the little minecarts, set holding routes for minecarts. So what we need to do is add route and click on add stop and click on the first stop, which is down there. And then we need to go up here, and we don't want to click for every single one of these. We can just set the last place as the next stop. So we click add stop and boom. And that's stop number 2. And that's one minecart route. Let's go down and do the next one, add route. And then we can name this upper cart and lower cart, just so we know which one's which. If depending on how you orient this, you might have to say that, oh, this is the left one and this is the right one, or it depends on like which orientation you have done this. And then add stop like that. F6 to quick go up here, and we need to add stop and boom. So now we have both minecart routes set. If we go back down, assign minecart, assign minecart. Now on these stops, we actually need to make sure that we delete all the unnecessary ones from where the minecarts from where they start here. We need to designate which way are they going to leave when they go to the next stop. So we will say guide west because we're going to the left. Depending on how you orient you might have to say that, oh, go east or go north or south, depending on if you need to go to the left or the right or up or down, like. And then we don't say them. We don't designate the material we're transporting. We don't say what we're transporting. We just say transport this when it's full of the side items. And because it cannot be full because we haven't set that, it will never start guiding. So if we say when it is full with magma and we want to move it, we can just go in here and say and set it to 0, and it will be guided regardless immediately. So let's leave that on 100%. Guide to the west immediately. Guide west immediately when full of the side items. Absolutely 100% correct. Done. On the stop number 2, which is up here, we can just say remove all of you and we can set this to 0, because when it reaches the end, it's empty and need to be guided back. And that should be to the east, because that's the way that is. So done. And then do basically the same for this one. Done. Done. So both minecarts are now set up. One thing that we need to do, and what I might do, is I might save the game and see sort of what's going to happen, so that I missed something really crucial or something doesn't go as it was supposed to go. I can fix that. That isn't linked yet, okay? And what we should do is pull that once it's linked. Mayor has mandated the construction of certain goods. I don't care. And that bridge is now up. Oh, they're just slow. They're just very, very slow. Fair enough. Okay, that's fine. Fair enough. They are now in place. I think I'm basically ready to do this. I will pause, save, and come back and do this, and hopefully we don't have to reload and try again. Hopefully we can start transporting the magma after nearly 3 hours of recording. Game is saved, so what we need to do is we need to pull the lever that is connected to this. Will it happen tomorrow? There we go. And in it floods. This up here shouldn't flood, because the highest level is down, like the top level is over here. So this level doesn't have any magma, so it shouldn't flow up. But this will slowly but surely, hopefully, there we go. That iron minecart is now full of magma. So basically you can sort of see when it's full, and that is when the minecart sprite, like the graphics for the minecart, disappears. So yeah, so we can now pull that lever to close this off, to stop the flow. And if someone wants to, there we go, boom. The flow stopped, so it now, so what we can do is we can pull the next lever, and hopefully see that this drain. Yeah, you know what? I think I'm actually going to do that. I'm actually going to quit without saving, continue, manual save, because I think what I need to do is actually deconstruct that, and I need to go and, instead of having this here, I think what I need to do is actually, I should do that so I can explore more of that. Well, this is sort of the things when you do things for the first time, it's like nothing is perfect. So yeah, that will be made. So hopefully I will discover a bit more down here to see where sort of the magma flows. Right, so technically speaking, what I could do is that should possibly work. And then we can build a floor piece there just in case, so that the stumbling dwarves don't stumble themselves down that hole, because that would be a very fiery end to their dwarvy lives. This that I did here is just not going to work. I need it to flow down and disappear on a level below. Set the smoothing on 1, carve that. Yeah, so what's going to happen, instead of flowing out this way, it's going to go into this chamber, it's going to flow down into that chamber, and then down into this and out the edge of the map. And there we go. That fortification is now done. Now I'm not sure if I need to fill this like chamber with the minecarts like to the brim. I might be able to get away with filling it somewhat. But I might have to do... And this is the reason why you, technically speaking, want this to actually be a bit smaller than what I did, is because if it's a bit smaller, it's actually quicker to fill. There we go. The flow from the magma sieve is stopped and the drain is open. So sometime tomorrow it will drain. Hopefully not. Hopefully my drain system here actually works now. But yeah. So we're just waiting for this to drain. It can take some time, like depending on how big your chamber is and so on. It probably can take a fair chunk of time. Merit deserves a reward. I come empowered to establish this colony as an official land of our realm. Can you imagine the trade wagons? Of course there are responsibilities and the nobility must live well. Do you have anyone suitable to recommend for elevation? Sure. So we can choose who we elevate into a noble. Let's do the mayor. So now we have a noble, which has a fair chunk of requirements. I will allow for the upper minecart to start getting transported. So what we need to do is we need to go into set hauling routes for minecarts. Go in there. We need to go in on the stop 1 because that is the upper one. And say that it will be moved immediately. And once someone comes to guide it, so you're the one who are going to push the minecart. You're pushing, you're pushing, you're pushing. We can't see the minecart, but... No, it worked. It worked. Over that part, it worked. It doesn't look like it is connected, but it is. Good. Pushing, pushing, pushing. Pushing. All the way. And we're here. Boom. It got dumped into that tile and it stops there. So they continued, dumped the stuff into that tile, and now there's 2 magma there. Once this has dissipated and vaporized and gone away, so we can take the next one and hopefully it'll actually deliver it. And apparently the game didn't like that, so it crashed. Ilral, are you going to be the chosen one? The chosen one to actually make a delivery this time? I bloody hope so. Don't crash the game on me. That was actually the first time the game has crashed for me. So... that was a bit unexpected. Anyway, we are delivering. We are snaking our way through this tunnel. Hopefully the last time. Ilral, you better not stop. Oh, and delivered. 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. That took forever. And with that removed, we can finally do the things that I want to do. Yeah. Let's see. I can't do that. You can't put them. The middle can't be placed on top, as it says, blocked at this location. So we have to place them that. No access to magma safe anvil. Ha. Needs magma safe anvil. Now I should have what I need. I should have, because I made some steel anvils, and that requires a lot of materials, and it took a bit of time, and I should have done that, but I didn't think of it. I think iron works, but I made steel because, I mean, whatever. So, select material after placement. I have 2 steel anvils. Why do I have 2? Because I'm going to make 2 magma forges. So I need 1 for each. And then we can say chert block, because let's make it magma safe. And then we place the next one and do the same thing. And that's the magma forge. Then I'm going to furnaces. We go into magma smelters. Place them exactly the same way. They also have the one that you can't put them directly on top, so the middle is on top of the hole, because that doesn't work. So we need to place them the same way. Like that. And like that. The reason why I'm making 2 smelters and 2 forges is because those are the 2 that's going to be used the most, and something that you actually might want more than one of, so that you can smelt, say, coke on one, and then smelt whatever like iron or silver or whatever it is on one, and then you can on the forge make that into something in 2 different, and you can have 2 different things going at the same time, which adds a lot of flexibility. Then for the 2 last ones, we have magma glass furnace, which I don't think you need more than 1. If you do, well, you do, but at that point you're on your own. It's basically just set up 1 more, and then like 1 more hole, or like 2 more holes, and fill them. Do note that it's going to take a lot longer. And then the magma kiln. And there we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let these build, and I'm going to show them being built. Oh, it's lovely seeing everything coming together after so many hours of waiting, because that's basically what it has been. And with that, they are all done, all constructed. What we will do is go back up to here and actually remove these 2. That's the kiln. Let's remove you as well. And the glass furnace. The wood furnace and the ashery is something you need to keep, because those does not have like a magma version. So you do need to keep those 2, but like the smelter, the glass furnace, the forge, and the kiln can be removed. Because now we have the magma versions, which are extremely fuel efficient. It's so much more fuel efficient than because anything that needs a coke in the crafting recipe doesn't need 2 all of a sudden. It just needs 1. And if you're going to smelt ores, well, let's say we smelt some hematite. If we take a look at what's going to be delivered here, it's going to be just a hematite because the magma is the fuel and it doesn't consume it. Yeah, and exactly, and plaster powder, all because the work orders, like the order is done here in work orders, it means that it looks to the closest workstation it can go to and queue it up in. So we have like things actually automatically queuing up, which is nice. And then this one we queued up manually. And it's just hematite. And it's just a bunch of iron. So I do have a few things that I would have done differently if I had done this before. One thing, for example, where the minecarts are, I would make this smaller. First off, I would make the minecarts not be where they are, but in this tile here. So basically they ramp down and they then immediately stop. And then, so basically what I would have is not a room that is this big, but I would have a room that is this big. And that's it. I am so happy to actually have done this. And yeah, I will not continue. This is the last episode. I have no idea how long this episode is going to be after I edit this monster file that is 5.5 hours long. I kid you not. And we will see. I have a few ideas of what I will do going forward. And when it comes to my lack of content as of late and how irregular I've been, it comes down to a bit of I've been ill due to the weather. Sadly, that has been inevitable. So that's the thing. And now when it's starting to become warm again, private life started demanding that I answer the phone whenever they would fancy calling me. And it's things I can't miss. So that has been annoying. So I haven't really been able to record. Now I've found some time to do it. And when will I edit this? Well, who knows? Anyway, I have had a blast with Dwarf Fortress. I probably will change to a different game because that's just what I do. And we will see if we return. Now, Dwarf Fortress is a game which probably won't have a lot of updates because its development cycle is long, to say the least. I love the game. It's and with the Steam graphics, like the Steam version and the graphics and stuff, it's so good. And I absolutely love it. And I think I have managed to accomplish what I set out to do, which is learn how to keep the dwarves going. Because that was basically like the goal of this, like learn how to set up squads and work orders and various other things and learn the menus and stuff, and that way be able to sort of tackle the more randomness that enemies and stuff bring when you and sieges. Like the siege can sort of randomly appear. So yeah, I think that I actually accomplished that because a lot of the things I feel that I'm ready to actually take on the chaos of what is Dwarf Fortress in its normal state. So yeah, we will see what happens with Dwarf Fortress going forward. There might be some updates. As of right now, there is a beta branch with some additions. But yeah, we will see where Dwarf Fortress ends up in the next year, coming year, and so on. And we will see if we revisit it. For now, I think we will say goodbye to Dwarf Fortress and this series, because it has been a blast, but we are sadly done. On screen, you should be able to see YouTube recommendation, quick access to subscribe button, and a quick access to the playlist for this series. So, with the end of this series, I will say thanks for watching, goodbye, and I hope I'll see you in the next one.